But I'm here at school because I got it.
I'm asking you, did your mother see you leave out the house like that? Because at this point, that's who I'm going to call. Your mother.
Call her. She's not going to answer.
Midway and drops. It's almost impossible to get, but a hammer fell in Pinoy Moana.
Yeah, don't leave anything on.
Yo. Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast. Yo, what in the world is going on college campuses? When's the last time you've been to a college campus? No, seriously, like legit. When's the last time you've been to a college campus? Because what I'm about to talk about in this video is not just relative to where I'm from or in my city. This is all over the place because I kind of do this for a living. The only reason that this video does not have and will not have actual content to prove and showcase the very things that I'm about to talk about is because I kind of want to keep my career, right? I had to make a tough decision because the things that I saw today and yesterday is completely mind-blowing that this is the reality now. No one talks about it. No one has a problem with it, or really a lot of people have a problem with it, but nobody says it out loud, and it just goes on, and it's only going to get worse. What am I talking about? I am a public speaker, right? And so one of the reasons why I don't have content to showcase the things I'm about to talk about in this video is because I have a relationship with the president of the college campus that I'm about to talk about. He and I have a personal relationship. It would be career suicide if I actually recorded some of the things. All you see are booty cheeks, an extreme amount of cleavage, quite literally vajayjay prints, and in some cases, even parts of the vajayjay, depending on the circumstances, all across campus.
Not all, but most.
Nobody says anything. And listen, I'm going to say this early. For those of you out there that are going to watch this video and say, oh, here's another dude complaining about something that's really not that big of a deal and talking about what women are doing or not doing. No. First of all, this is not just about women, and this is not even about women bashing, because this is a societal problem. And for any of you out there that say this is not a big deal, stop the cap, bro. We make a big deal in society what we choose to decide is a big deal. I'm choosing to decide this is a big deal because it is. And this is proof that it's a big deal. Because if men did the same exact thing that women are doing on these campuses, they will be shut down immediately. It will be a big deal. And we all know it's true.
But I'm here at school because I got it.
I'm asking you, did your mother see you leave out the house like that? Because at this point, that's who I'm going to call. Your mother.
Call her. She's not going to answer.
Well, somebody gonna have to come get you because you cannot be at school like this.
Why?
Because it's inappropriate.
What's inappropriate?
Everything you have on. No, everything you have on is inappropriate.
This friend that I was talking to on campus made a great point, and this is just an hour ago. He said, bro, I wish I was still 20. I said, why? He said, because if I was 20 and I wasn't right at my career, and I had a career to protect, and I had a little bit more of some cushion to be able to chance this and risk this, I would come to school right now in a crop top shirt and some spandex shorts, and I would just freeball it. He said, and the very first person to say something to me, because it's going to happen, they're going to say something to me. They're going to say, you can't do that. And I'm going to look at them and I'm going to say, why not? And the moment they start listening to things, I'm saying, nope. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to just point out just the 6 females in this one class alone, in this one room alone, that everything you just said applies to. They're dressed worse than I am. They're basically naked in some of these cases. Going to class this way, how is this normal? We all human beings. Why is it not the same smoke for women, bro? This is unacceptable. I ran into a friend today, which I'm going to give him a shout out. I'm not going to say his name because he don't want any part of this because he wants a career as well. He said, bro, being on college campuses, bro, has become weird. And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, all you see, bro, he said, I just walked from the health science building or the exercise science building to the library. And that's maybe a 5-minute walk. He said, I just saw a bunch of booty cheeks, a bunch of cleavage, he was like, and it's everywhere, bro. He said it's to a point now where it's become strange, it's weird. And I just got up on my seat because I'm the only person I know that complain about this. People in my regular life hear me, men and women that are closest to me, hear me complain about this so much that I'm sure they're tired of hearing about it, but they know I'm coming from a good place and they agree with me on the topic. I complain about this all the time. What's going on in society, bro, where it's the norm now to walk around with your booty cheeks? Let me get this straight. You woke up in the morning time and you actively chose, and it's rampant. It's everywhere. It's not like it's just a select few people. So many people, like every third or fourth person that walks by, this could apply to in some capacity. Let me get this straight. You woke up this morning and decided it was a great idea to put on a skirt, literally a skirt that stops above or right at the bottom of your booty cheeks, to wear a t-shirt that has a very low cutting v-neck, no bra on, and you went to class dressed this way.
Psychologist. So, yeah, I probably struggle with psychology.
What are we doing? Your professor is a man with a wife and children, and you woke up this morning and decided it was a good idea to come to class where this person who's teaching you is going to see this. They are exposed to this, and they have no choice but to be exposed to it, because that professor, like the rest of us in everyday society, can't speak out. You're not allowed to say anything about it. Why? You're going to be accused of being misogynistic, controlling, patriarchal, and hateful, when you're none of those things. I'm just trying to understand how this is not perverted behavior. I'm trying to figure out who's to blame for this. Like, whose fault is it, bro? And it's only going to get worse. Because I used to complain about this 4 or 5 years ago when I was in undergrad myself. Like, it was weird then. But it's gotten so much worse now. Because from the point that my friend mentioned that, we go down this huge rabbit hole of talking about how society got to this point, how bad it's been, some of the things that he's noticed. And this man said he was getting lunch in the cafeteria earlier today. He said he had to do a double take. He said he turned around. He said it was a woman in the cafeteria in a spandex bra. He said, but Demetrius, he said, the difference is, he said, I see this all the time across campus, which is still unacceptable. It's weird. And I personally feel like we shouldn't be normalizing this behavior. But this was even, like, she took it a step up. He said this girl was wearing a sports bra that was cuffed up under her breast. He said, so all of this was out, nipples beaming through her bra. He said, and then her bottom piece, he said she had on spandex shorts that was up the cuff of her buttocks. She was out in public dressed this way. And while we're on the topic, let me say it. You don't want to say it. Many people in society are afraid to say it because it's going to be considered radical. I'm going to say it. Spandex are underwear.
What?
Yep, I said it. There you have it. Spandex are underwear. Those are not acceptable clothing to be, and I get it. When you say something like that in society today, because we're so far away from morality or operating from a high moral compass, we're just so far away from having actual values and traditions in this society that when you say something like spandex are inappropriate to wear by themselves out in public because they're underwear, they're undergarments, that's considered radical. But it's not radical, because everything I just said is true, right? And not only that, as my friend pointed out, it's worse. Not only are you wearing spandex, but you're wearing spandex and you pull them up the crack of your behind and you're seeing camel toes casually walking to class up the crack of your butt so it can emphasize your booty cheeks. This is normal and nobody talks about it. You just objected. You just have to deal with it for the sake of being quote unquote canceled, right? Or being called patriarchal. What's happening in society? Bro, I came to campus. I saw some craziness today. The worst craziness was today. But yesterday, I was walking to the library. I was just completely flabbergasted. I walked past one woman and I was like, oh my gosh. She woke up this morning, didn't even care. She legit it didn't even look like she was wearing shorts. She just put on a really long t-shirt, no bra, and was just going to class that way. Now, again, this is not about attacking women. It's about trying to figure out who's to blame. Like, is society to blame for this? Is God to blame for this? The president, the lawmakers, the college presidents? Who's to blame for this? Why have we gotten to a point in society where we can't look at something like that and say that's unacceptable because that's inappropriate? It's not safe to make yourself, to objectify yourself that way in public. It's just like we have no standards anymore, bro. And nobody talks about it. And I do this for a living. I travel to other states and other cities and speak at college campuses for a living. And this is all over the place. And I know a video like this is going to be considered me hating. It's not hate. It's trying to figure out what is going on, bro. I saw she came from class and I could not believe it. Her shirt was basically see-through. I'm like, bro, nothing matters anymore. And then the weirdest thing happens. This has happened to me a few times where like I'm walking on the sidewalk on campus, in the middle campus. And then you have like several other people coming from class, headed to class, walking on another sidewalk. And these sidewalks are going to meet up at some point to connect into one bigger sidewalk, right? That's a lot of college campuses. It's the weirdest thing in the world. And it's the funniest thing in the weirdest way to me in the world. Whenever those sidewalks connect, and let's say the other person that's walking is a female and she just happens to be in front of me, you can see her grimacing. You can quite literally see her grimace that you're walking behind her now. And she has to tug at her shorts because about 20% of her booty cheeks is hanging out of her shirt, her shorts, or her skirt, and she's tugging at it. Well, how about this? First of all, I'm doing nothing wrong. I'm not a creep. I'm not a pervert. I'm simply walking to class. Didn't do anything to you. Didn't say anything to you. Haven't bothered you. Nothing. You're walking. I'm walking. But you're uncomfortable. You know why you're uncomfortable? Because of what you're wearing. How about you put some actual clothes on like the rest of us and it wouldn't be a problem? I just have to make this video to try to figure out, like, has anybody else noticed this? Because it got to be all over campus. I'm like, I was so shocked that this man brought this up to me because nobody else has said this but me. I'm the only person in my ecosystem, in my life, that I hear complaining about this thing. Like, how have we gotten that far away from God, away from morals, away from standards? And it begs another question, a bigger question, right? In my opinion. And that question is, who is this being done for, right? Because many would argue, well, it's not being done for anyone. This is just how people want to dress. Well, that's my question. Are you doing it just because this is how you would casually dress when you're alone in your apartment or your dorm? Are you doing it for the attention of men, to get attention? Like, are you doing it just to be, provocative or rebellious? Like, what's the reason for this? Because what I don't want to hear is that you're doing it because it's what men want from you. Like, I don't want to hear that, because this is another one of those disconnects that you hear about when women say that they're doing things for men, that men we're very loudly telling you we don't find this attractive. We want modest women, and this is not modest behavior. It reminded me of a post I saw where this woman, it says, men keep setting beauty standards for us women. Now we keep hurting ourselves trying to look pretty for them. No, you're not. And the person that posted this said, no man in the world is asking you guys to do whatever the hell this is. The quote unquote high beauty standards for women are mostly imposed on women by women. Same thing with this right here. Like, men do not find this attractive. Men are noticing this, and men are deciding that they're not going to go for women like that. It makes you look more unattractive, less appealing, right? You're more unappealing when you dress this way in public. It was a study done that showed like the amount of men that are virgins are skyrocketing and the amount of women that are virgins are plummeting, right? The amount of men that haven't had intercourse in a year is skyrocketing, and the number of women that have not had sex in a year is plummeting. Why is that? Like, what's happening with men and women? I've been saying for like years, like I have this saying that I've been saying for years now, where I'll say, I feel like I'm the only person with eyeballs. And what I mean by that is, it's like, because I never hear anybody else complain about it, I think to myself, well, do they not notice it? Are they just prone to like overlook it now or something? Somebody gotta have eyeballs. I just walked into Starbucks and I'm coming through Starbucks and there's this woman in this sunflower dress. You say, well, that's innocent, right? Like it's sunflower dress go all the way down to your ankles. No. This sunflower dress, I mean, I just couldn't believe it. All of this was split open. And then it cut down. I'm like, I'm just exposed to everything. Now, the lustful side of me, the flesh side of me, right, as a heterosexual man, enjoys it, right? Whether I'm in a relationship or not, enjoys it. Because that's just casual eye candy that I'm exposed to, I'm subjected to from a visual perspective on my way to class, on my way to this meeting, on my way to Starbucks, right? But the man in me with morals, the man in me that's hungry to be closer to God, you're allowed to do something and not be called a pervert for it, even though it's perverted behavior. What's going on? Hop in the comment section. Have you noticed this? Have you heard about this? What are your thoughts about this, man? My mind is blown.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.